um, Hi, my loves. This 2026, I want to talk to you about life and about making your dreams come true, because I think that is possible for you. That is possible for all of us here listening right now in 2026. So, one thing that I want you to do is I want you to energetically focus on one of your goals for every day of this year. And by that, I mean pick a goal, just one, and do that every day. No excuses, no like being hard on yourself, no mistakes about it. Do whatever capacity you're able to do it, that one thing every day this year. And obviously there will be days off, sure. I'm not saying you have to work out 365 days a year. I am just saying make the one goal that will change your energy. So say if you're working out, committing to that one workout a day, that one energetic change will allow you to change your energy throughout your life, will bring over that motivation and that healthy pattern into other areas of your life, like eating or sleeping or reading or anything really, because you're changing your energetic field. And that is the most valuable thing I learned in 2025, is using my energy. Energy is matter. It's one of those things that's invisible, so we think it isn't real. And the quote that comes to mind is, well, of course it's happening in your head, Harry, but why on earth should that mean that it's not real? Of course you can't see energy. Like, sometimes you can, but why should that mean it's not real? Being accountable, aware of, and moving your own energy is the secret success to life, the secret sauce. And that is what I learned in 2025. I started doing energy work in December 2024. In this year, though I've had a lot of things go awry, things go not according to plan, I think, not like what I would have wanted or envisioned for myself, right? I think that actually all those setbacks have been prep for me to get to where I want to be energetically. So like moving back home with my parents, not on my bank card, not aligned to what I want, right? But at the end of the day, taking that step back has allowed me to like create a platform and like push myself forward. If I had not come home, maybe I would be struggling more with my debts than I am right now, than I have figured out. Maybe I wouldn't have had a career change and been able to do that this year if I hadn't taken a step back to like a hermit mode, to like silo myself, to isolate, kind of to really work on that. And so I want to encourage you to do the things that are hard, not in the sense that like they're hard, but in the sense that like those things that can look like unwanted circumstances, that can look like energetic steps I maybe don't really envision in my past, don't really want to take, those kinds of things can actually springboard you onto something so much greater, into a reality that is so much better and is awaiting for you. And to talk a little bit about my spiritual journey, like the last 5 years and how I've gotten here, I'd like to say the first year was a hermit mode. It was 2020, granted that fact, but it was about focusing the energy inward, assessing, removing any internal obstacles, any limiting beliefs to expansion. Then the next year, 2021, I got a job and I moved a 6-hour flight away from home. And that was partially easier by the fact that my family had also moved from home, but it was not easier by the fact that I'd never done anything like that before in my life. Like I've never on my own moved to a new place like that up until that point. So that year was kind of like the hallmark of growth, right? I saw it in the external, but in the internal, I actually wasn't doing as much work. I wasn't doing that much work. So 2022, I went back into the internal to focus and realized, yeah, hey, this has been cool, but actually I got into like debts in 2021, a lot of debts. So like, it was fun, but it was like unregulated and fun at like what cost, right? And I don't just mean like physically, I mean like emotionally too, because obviously having debts does something to you, like it takes a toll on you emotionally. So 2022, I went inward again, and I springboarded out in 2023. I moved abroad. 2023, I had fun, I had a laugh. I did not plan as well as I should have planned. I took that, like I think that's the thing too, is finding the balance between when you do springboard and maintaining your internal composition, your internal structure, your internal energy flow. And I think that's where the healthy habits like working out come in. Just the one healthy habit that springboards and leads to success in all other areas of your life. But right, so 2023 hadn't planned as well as I should have planned. Like did not apply for a digital nomad visa, stuff like that. So I had to move again, right, to a different country. Moved to Mexico, 2023. Not a secret, so I'll just share that. And then I basically had no plan, no sense of direction in my life. I was doing the spiritual work. I was motivating to the how, my purpose. But I think the thing was I was not yet doing the energetic work. And energetic work is what made me believe in all this is possible. Literally, energetic work is just envisioning your energy and believing it to be so. Envisioning your body clear white energy, clear white light, moving through all your chakras, putting that energy into the world. How do you live? How do you show up? How do you feel? How do you experience, right? So like that like lull again in the external allowed me to focus on the internal. Even though I had little direction and no plan, I had that ability to, in 2024, to lean into my own energy, to do the energetic work, and to ultimately lead a life where I was more proud of the outcomes now. Because although 2025 tested me, although 2025 was like an unkind guest, it like slammed the doors, it like rushed me in and out of rooms, it like took things away, put them, you know, like just took a toll on my mental health, like jobs, like opportunities, etc. What I learned was equilibrium and balance in the internal through that, and shifting my internal energy, realizing that is the source of the external. So even though I had been doing, like was doing energetic work in 2025, right? It's like a muscle, it's something you build. So like you do one Reiki meditation, one energy meditation, that's great. How do you carry this forward through to your life for the rest of the year? How do you own and are in control of your energy? That was a really big piece of it that was missing for me, but that I found through this practice, through this daily coming back to life, to my own energy through 2025. And that's something I really made a priority in 2025. I took every morning to take a deep breath, take a few deep breaths to meditate in, to do an energy cleanse, to envision my chakras clear, to allow anything that was dense and heavy and weighing me down to acknowledge the fear and to pull it out, not as wrong, but as divinely not aligned with my birthright, right? So that fear is not a part of my journey. So I'm pulling it out, removing it, and getting it out of the way. It is not going to have a hold on my creation, on my spirit, on my doing things. And now, having this really good internal emotional foundation, energetic foundation, I'm able to springboard out and actually plan the rest of my life. And that's why this sacred lull, sacred pause was more than I could have asked for and envisioned. That's probably why I didn't ask for it, right? Because it was actually the biggest gift to create a foundation for my life. Energetically, a sound foundation; physically, a sound foundation; mentally, a sound foundation. Those practices literally create your world, and then impact how you interact with the rest, all the other areas of your life, like the social, the career, the internal, the internet focus, like all of that, right? The media, the consumption of the media, like what you listen to, what you watch, what you hear, what you see, where you go, what you interact with, who you meet, how opportunities are presented to you, what kind of life you lead on the day-to-day. All of that springboards and comes from your internal, mental, emotional, and physical, energetic foundation. So that is why I would say doing the energetic work and the spiritual work is so important. That is why I would say it's the biggest blessing when things in your physical are actually not working out and are falling apart, and are giving you the lull and the grace to tend to your energetic and to focus on yourself right here in your heart, to be heart aligned and heart centered. And I'm still figuring this out. I'm still making my life a reflection of that internal heart wave, heart coherence project. But one thing I do know is that I will make my life a reflection of that. And I will too make a resource for you that allows you to grow and heal healthily into a whole. So I just hope you follow along with me on this creative journey, that you're able to be inspired by my videos, and that if there's ever a need for a guide or a resource, that you're able to come to me and use this, because I really want to better your world and release this guide for you. So happy 2026, babes. Energetic superiority and dominion. Amen.